You are not going to believe this. The WNBA just got hit with a twist no one saw coming. A move so bold and so calculated, it's already sending shockwaves through the league and rattling the top executives to their core. Caitlin Clark's camp is reportedly making a power play so dangerous, so strategic, it could force the single biggest change in WNBA history. And if it works, the balance of power in women's basketball will never be the same again. This isn't just about basketball anymore. This is about control, about money, about leverage, about rewriting the rules of the game itself. And the whispers coming from behind closed doors suggest that if this goes through, entire teams, player contracts, even the league's broadcast deals could be flipped upside down in ways fans could never have imagined. We're talking about a high-stakes gamble where one wrong move could turn Caitlin Clark from the most marketable player in the league to the most controversial, and yet her camp seems ready to risk it all because they know if they win this fight, they won't just change the WNBA, they'll own it. So here's what's really going on. Insiders say Caitlin Clark's agent has been quietly working the phones for weeks, using the brand new WNBA collective bargaining agreement as their secret weapon. And the plan isn't just to negotiate a better deal for Caitlin. The plan is to force a franchise shakeup so massive it would instantly make her the centerpiece of the league's future. And we're not just talking about better pay or perks, no, this goes deeper. This is about market relocation, about television rights, about forcing the WNBA to recognize that Caitlin isn't just a player, she's a billion-dollar asset that could transform the sport forever. Think about it. She's already the biggest ticket seller in the league. Her jersey sales are breaking records, and every arena she steps into sells out in hours. And yet, according to these leaks, her camp believes she's still being underused, undervalued, and trapped in a system that doesn't fully maximize her potential, and they've decided it's time to change that, even if it means shaking the very foundation of the WNBA itself. And here's the kicker, this isn't just about money, it's about power. The new WNBA CBA quietly slipped in clauses that most fans haven't even noticed yet. Clauses that give superstar players like Caitlin an unprecedented level of influence over where and how they play. Under the old rules, a rookie had little to no leverage. You got drafted. You played where they sent you, end of story. But now, if a player has a certain level of market impact, ticket revenue pool, and media influence, and Caitlin checks every single box, her camp can pressure the league into creating favorable trade conditions or even negotiate clauses that make certain markets financially irresistible for the league to approve. Translation: Caitlin's agent could engineer the biggest relocation in WNBA history, putting her in a market where television exposure, endorsements, and sponsorships explode overnight. We're talking major cities, global media deals, and a spotlight so bright it would make her the undeniable face of the sport, which, let's be honest, she already island. And the whispers about which market she might be targeting, they're getting louder. Multiple insiders are pointing to one city in particular, a city that's been circling the WNBA expansion conversation for years and has the money, the sponsors, and the media infrastructure to instantly turn Caitlin Clark into a mainstream sports icon. Think massive arena deals, NBA cross-promotion, and a corporate sponsorship network that makes her current setup look like small change. Some say it's New York, where the Liberty already have a strong team but could create a super team era with Caitlin at the center. Others swear it's Los Angeles, a market that's been starving for a new superstar to reignite the Sparks legacy and dominate national television. But the boldest theory? Her camp is pushing for an entirely new franchise in a fresh city, making her the foundation of a brand new team that's literally built around her image and style of play. In other words, not just changing teams, but changing the entire league map. Here's where it gets sneaky. Caitlin's agent isn't just reading the new CBA. They're weaponizing it. Buried deep in the fine print are market trigger clauses that tie a player's value not only to on-court performance, but to the revenue and attention they generate for the league. Caitlin's numbers blow every other player out of the water. Record television ratings, sold-out arenas, merch sales that crash websites, and that's the exact leverage her team needs. According to insiders, they're quietly feeding those stats back to league execs, building a narrative that keeping Caitlin in a smaller market is actually costing the WNBA millions. And here's the real play. If they can prove her value is being capped by her current situation, they can pressure the league to greenlight a move under the guise of maximizing league growth. It's the kind of boardroom power move you normally only see in the NBA. And if it works, it could set a precedent that changes the WNBA forever. Behind closed doors, this isn't just a player-agent conversation anymore, it's turned into a full-blown power summit. Sources say top WNBA executives, select NBA owners, and even certain corporate sponsors have been quietly brought into the loop. Why? Because they know Caitlyn isn't just a player, she's a revenue engine. Some of these power players are already mapping out arena availability, media rollout strategies, and season ticket drives for a potential Welcome Home Caitlyn campaign. One insider swears that 2 national television networks have already inquired about exclusive rights to her debut game if she switches markets, meaning the hype train is literally on the tracks, ready to leave the station. And here's the jaw-dropper. Multiple sources claim there's already a soft agreement in place between her camp and one franchise, contingent only on league sign-off. In other words, if the CBA loophole play works, we might not just hear rumors. We might wake up one morning to find Caitlin Clark's entire basketball world flipped upside down, officially and permanently. The moment whispers of Caitlyn's potential relocation hit the locker rooms, the clause came out. Veteran players are furious, calling it special treatment that undermines the integrity of the league. One All-Star guard reportedly told teammates, "If the league bends the rules for her, they can bend them for anyone, and that's the beginning of chaos." Rival teams are lobbying behind the scenes, pushing for stricter trade protocols to make sure this doesn't happen without an all-out war in the Board of Governors meeting. Even some league officials are quietly concerned, because if Caitlyn pulls this off, every future superstar will expect the same VIP escape clause. And the tension is spilling onto the court. You've seen it in the hard fouls, the trash talk, the subtle snubs in post-game handshakes. This isn't just business anymore. This is becoming deeply personal. The WNBA is at risk of splitting into 2 camps, those who want Caitlyn front and center at all costs, and those who want to remind her she's just one player in a league of many. And here's where everything goes nuclear, because according to a well-placed source, Caitlyn's agent has already leaked a confidential offer sheet to a rival franchise. That's right, an actual written proposal that outlines salary bumps, endorsement partnerships, and even a personal branding package designed to make her the face of that city's entire sports scene. The leak wasn't accidental. It was a calculated shot across the bow, a message to the Fever and the league. She has options, and we're not afraid to use them. One insider claims the document even included preliminary commitments from 3 Fortune 500 sponsors, willing to pour millions into a Caitlyn and city name marketing blitz. If true, that means the chess game is already in checkmate, because once corporate money starts moving, the league's resistance becomes a lot harder to justify. The scary part? This leak might have been the exact move that forces the WNBA's hand and accelerates the biggest player power shift in league history. So now we're staring at a WNBA crossroads, one where the biggest star the league has ever seen might walk straight out of Indiana and into the arms of a franchise ready to build an empire around her. The Fever's front office can pretend they're holding the cards, but in reality, Caitlyn Clark and her agent are the ones flipping the table. The leaked offers, the CBA loopholes, the sponsor money, it's all aligning into a perfect storm that could change the power dynamics of women's basketball forever. And if the league thinks they can quietly block this move, good luck. Because once the fans, the sponsors, and the media get wind of the fact that the WNBA's most bankable star might be trapped against her will, the backlash will be unlike anything they've ever seen. The question isn't if Caitlyn Clark makes her move, it's how far she's willing to go to force it. And if this plays out the way it's looking right now, we might be about to witness the single most shocking transfer in the history of the sport.